Good morning, dear children. Today we will continue with the chapter 10, that is force and types of force. Let's recall, children, what we have learned in the previous video. We have learned introduction about force. We have also studied about the different types of forces, children, such as muscular force, mechanical force and gravitational force. Children, today further we are going to learn about magnetic force, frictional force, electrostatic force and combined force. Let's begin, children. Before starting or learning to the magnetic force, first we will see what are magnets. Do you know how do the metal stickers stick to the refrigerator? Yeah, children? Yeah. The metal stickers stick to the refrigerator with the help of a small magnet which is fixed on the opposite sides of the stickers. Now, children, let's define what are magnets. Yeah, the substances having a property to attract certain materials like iron, cobalt, and nickel are known as magnet. Now, we will do one experiment. Place a magnet on a table as shown in the picture here, children. Take a big iron nail towards the magnet. What do you see, children? Right, it sticks to a magnet. So, a force exerted by a magnet is called magnetic force. All the magnetic substances will be pulled due to what, children? Yeah, it is due to magnetic force. The next force is, children, frictional force. So for learning frictional force, take two pieces of smooth paper and two sandpaper and rub them against each other. What do you notice, children? Exactly. So the smooth surface can be easily rubbed against each other. Why, children? Yeah, it is because the force of friction between them is less. While, on the other hand, rough surface cannot be easily rubbed against each other. Now, why, children? Yeah, right. It is because the force of friction between them is much greater. So, children, we use friction in our day-to-day life also. For example, the brakes which we applied for stopping a vehicle helps to create frictional force only. Children, it is possible for us to walk on the ground only because of the force of friction. If there is no friction, we would slip and fall also. Now, children, Ria is going on the ground. While going, she slipped from the wet floor. Do you know why did she slip from the wet floor? And why does this happen? Yeah, right. When Ria is walking on the wet floor, the frictional force comes into play between the floor and her legs. But this force acts in the opposite direction of her motion, and due to which the force of friction between her legs and the wet floor reduces. As a result, she slipped from the wet floor. Okay, children? Now, use your brain power. Why is powder sprinkled on the carom board while playing carom? The answer is yeah, right, children. A carom board should have smooth surface for playing so that the coins can move smoothly. If powder is not sprinkled on the surface of a carom board, there would be more frictional force and the coin will not move freely. So, children, the frictional force can be defined as force acting opposite to the direction of motion is called frictional force. Now, children, before studying electrostatic force, first we will see that what is meant by electrostatic. Yeah, electrostatic is the study of electric charges which are at rest and the forces between electric charges. Now students, we will see what is electrostatic force. When you rub the plastic comb against your dry hair, the paper pieces are attracted towards the plastic comb. Why does this happen, children? Yeah, right. When we rub plastic comb against the dry hairs, the friction force comes into play between hairs and plastic comb, due to which the comb acquires an electric charge, and as a result, when we bring the comb near the paper pieces get attracted towards the plastic comb. Next one, children, that spread small pieces of paper on a table, then inflated balloon against it. So what will happen? And one more, rub a peacock feather between two pages of a notebook and brings it near your fingers. What do you see? Right. So, answer for both the question is the pieces of paper and the peacock feather show some movement. Right, children? All these objects it develop static electricity, and hence, children, this movement is seen in the activities. Static electricity produced in the objects, okay, and due to what, children? Yeah, due to friction only, and these substances become electrically charged. So, children, electrostatic force can be defined as static electricity is produced on materials like rubber, plastic, and epoxide due to friction. The force exerted by such electrically charged material is called electrostatic force. Okay, students? Now, students, do you know what is winnowing? Yeah, winnowing is the method of separation of grains. This method we separate the husk from the grains with the help of wind. Now tell me the woman in the given picture which forces are exerting while winnowing. In the given picture, children, we see that, yeah, right, the woman exerting a muscular force to lift the winnowing basket, and while winnowing, the grain falls onto the ground due to which force? Gravitational force. In the given example, we see that there are two forces, right, children, taken into consideration, and from this we can say that when an action is taking place, various types of forces act on an object which is in consideration, that we called as what? Yeah, combined forces. Okay, children. Now let's see, children, more examples of combined forces. Children, you might have seen a roller coaster or the juggling of a sailboat on the seashore. So, children, there are variety of forces act together in these cases, right? Now, children, it's a time for recap what we have learned in this lesson so far, children. Yeah, we have learned the first one, force is required to bring about any action. Force is necessary for making an object move, to change the direction of motion, and also to change the shape of an object. And the second one is there are various types of forces such as muscular force, mechanical force, gravitational force, magnetic force, frictional force, and last one electrostatic force. Yes, children, students, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you. Stay safe.